Hello.
Hey, welcome to Lobstermagnet Review, the channel, the review. I'm here with my good old buddy Gorogregoro, and we are here to talk about 2017's Berzerk episodes 9 and 10. Yay! Uh,
Yeah.
I used to be a little bit more forgiving, but this was like definitely a do or die moment in the series that we needed to be good, and it kind of wasn't good.
It all stems back to the CG, doesn't it?
There were parts that like Guts's, arm twitching, but oh man, episode 9 was a fucking travesty. Ugh. Where like whatchamacallit, it was just where they have that one apostle and he like just like blurs into his apostle form out of the armor after being attacked in the
Oh, you remember from episode 9 that walking animation Berserk was doing? Like,
yeah, just the
he's like,
it's like the thing. God, I don't know. There's like a part of me. It's like if like the staff of Ruby was like commissioned to make Berserk, this is what we would get.
oh my god. No, that's insulting the Ruby staff, honestly. Because, like, you look at all the crazy, transformations they make with their stupid scythe weapons
Yeah,
and
but
stuff.
it's still like a step level below what you then like a top tier CGI thing. Like the novelty of Ruby, something like Ruby, is the fact that like it's like animu ballsiness that's made by relative amateurs, and I feel like it gets a hard pass from a lot of people because of that.
Yeah. Well, I don't.
There's a certain ingenuity to it, and the fact that it was all created by this Monty guy who's like a god of animation, and what he was able to do with like recycled Gmod assets, but it's still not quite on the par of the level of like it's a really great Gmod video, and you can say that like this is like Berserk if it was made in Gmod. Someone's got some like character models from like the Berserk Musou game on PS4, and it's like I'm gonna make my own Berserk anime.
Oh my god.
They'd probably be using
It,
these same shortcuts, which is kind of sad. I'm still gonna keep following it. I'm happy to see it animated. I don't know, but like seeing like the Super Eye Patch Wolf's most recent video about like why it's still terrible, and then seeing this, it was kind of like depressing. There was like part of me was like wondering, like, oh my god, this is supposed to be the most incredible fight in the world, where he uses the Berserk armor and it's like completely changed and it's the best ever, and this was not the best ever.
yeah, this really needed to knock it out of the fucking park. There needed to be 2D animators like working on this shit. I mean, it is kind of amazing sometimes when they are able to do as much as they can with some aspects of the 3D, but it still looks god awful.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. So someone was also like talking about how like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure didn't really take off until it got like a adaptation that like from people who understood the material, and because there was a JoJo OVA in the early '90s, but it was just like a thing for like super otaku who knew about it, and people in Japan. Nobody in the West gave a shit about
I
JoJo's.
I liked the OVA. I thought that was pretty
Really?
neat. Yeah, I mean, that's what sort of got me, kind of interested in like, oh, JoJo, fighting this random demonic guy who can control time and whatnot, and the animation's pretty cool. And
Yeah, but it's like a super condensed thing that's like only a few parts from the legendary Stardust Crusaders saga.
I like it when Dio says the world, in the English version.
Doesn't everyone? The world, though. Doesn't everyone? But there's a reason. It was just this weird, bizarre thing with a few kernels of like stuff that you could see that people loved. But and yeah, that's kind of what this is. I really wanted this to be good. I wanted it to be like a few good moments, like when like the blood is gushing out of his suit. That was kind of neat.
Yeah.
I wanted the Berserker armor to be like the most cool, incredible thing of all, because it's like such a the one only moment where we actually see like Guts get like a legitimate power up, and it's like this It's like a great thing that's emblematic of the series as a whole. It makes Guts even more of an incredible warrior, but it's something that causes an incredible amount of self harm and literally causes him to gouge and murder himself and rip himself apart to use.
Yeah, and like when he gets that little tuft of gray hair, the new and improved guts, or
Yeah, the not so
new
black swordsman.
the the battered, gray-haired soldier now after
The,
using
the,
the armor for just one time.
yeah,
It's pretty
the
cool.
mellowed out, like it was like literally ripping his life force to use that thing. That like, oh man, you're graying out. You shouldn't use it. It's his version of One for All from My Hero Academia, where it's like it hurts him and is a horribly destructive and miserable thing for him that he probably shouldn't use, but he still does.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it one for all, but
Well, true, true.
yeah.
It's a little bit more
more,
sinister.
more like Kyubi. Be
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Inner rage and malice just unleashed upon any poor suspecting thing that's in his way. And we didn't get that, especially, and it's a shame because Rundenbold is like probably one of the coolest apostle designs. Probably only like I don't know.
that's like the only time we've seen him.
We see him a little bit later on in the Fantasia Falcon arc when like Griffith is like leading his apostle army with the humans to fight the Kashinka. Yeah, I think he's there. He's not a major part, but he's in the background there.
He kind of like after this big encounter, I feel like he fades a little bit into the background compared to the other apostles.
Well, not like fucking shooting hawk guy is getting a lot of screen time, or I'm trying to think, the
This
Lance guy.
the Lance guy, and then the assassin dude
They're
later
all
on.
like really minor, cool. They're really cool designs, but they're not like major characters.
Mm. Yeah, yeah.
Which is
I
fine. That's what they should be. Just really cool monster designs that are slightly more heroic than like your average evil eating apostle.
I don't know what else to say about this these episodes. I'm just like, why can't they just do 2D animation and
I
just
don't
be
know.
happy?
Maybe someday we'll get an interview about the production crew and what they really had to go through and the reasons why they couldn't do 2D all the time. And maybe this is the only way we'd ever get Berserk.
I feel like this is just highly experimental shit that he was just trying to pull out of his ass. Like maybe
Well, who are you
maybe they
attributing?
had to hire a cheap animator because no one really wanted to animate it. This put money into this animation for some reason.
Well, I don't know. I wish I could have someone who's like more experienced in animation, but from watching people who are fans of animation and podcasts and interviews with animators, the one thing I know is that supposedly the more detailed a design is, the more difficult it is to animate. And
That's
one
true.
and one reason why you see like the renaissance of like really simple designs of like Steven Universe and stuff with like those thick outlines and simple shapes is that like the reason why this the show isn't super expensive, but it looks really good because all the designs are built for to be animated well.
All of Berserk's like in this point of the comic, like there's a lot of like high action scenes, but the amount of detail for
Berserk is probably like would be like the most difficult and cumbersome thing to animate.
probably yeah.
And I
I
guess the idea is like, if it's CG, oh, it's much easier to like have this model of guts that we just move around and we can keep reusing this character model versus, 100 billion things of Kentaro Moira's
I
godly art.
I still think there's a way to do it, like sort of simplify maybe the armor during animation, like high animation scenes, like look at Attack on Titan for instance. Like the armor Titan isn't like the most simplified,
But
but they can still do like
none
high
of the
action scenes with them.
signs in Attack on Titan are even on par with like the lowliest apostle.
I argue against that. The armor Titan and like the the Colossal Titan was there's a lot of CG with the Colossal Titan, but
Yeah, they made it because like the Colossal Titan had to move, so they made him CG versus the first season where all he does is kick a door in.
hmm. But the Armored Titan though, that's pretty detailed design. That could be on the level of like what the Berserk armor could be animated.
I don't know. I think Rundenbeld is like a much more complex design than the Armored Titan, and hell, even like Griffith's Titan minion or Griffith's fucking Apostle minions are like more complicated designs than any of like the Titan shifters.
Yeah. I wonder
I would love
maybe
to.
the artist didn't maybe the guy had to be thinking about like how is this going to be possibly animated like on a decent budget if all these super highly detailed characters are like in high intense action scenes. Maybe he should have been thinking about that from the beginning so he can get this shit animated and make the
Well, when you would
audience grow.
sacrifice the beautiful artwork that we get in every chapter of Berserk of Kentaro's masterpiece, just so like, oh, maybe it gets a better anime adaptation.
I mean, I think I enjoy the manga as it is. I'm perfectly satisfied with it. I'm
I
just
mean, you're
like,
right though. Maybe there should have been like someone who could have like come up with a better design. Like, I don't know. I would love to like hear like, oh, God, I wish I was more popular and famous and successful. If I was, then I could have the chance of getting like someone who like works on like a Cartoon Network show like Steven Universe or whatnot.
and like know what the process is.
Exactly, who's like who's really educated, and it's like, okay, like let's say I gave you $550 million. Give me Berserk. What do you have to do to make this work? And then hear them explain to me like all the reasons why it wouldn't, or why it would be extremely difficult, or why it would be, hard to translate.
I mean, the trolls, they didn't have to make those CG. I mean, the trolls didn't seem like they warranted that much.
Kind of a complicated design, but we just got the video game for them. All right, though. Let's see. We are on 12 minutes. We should wrap this up. I don't know, six out of 10.
5.5.
For both of them. Yeah.
Yeah, for both.
I like the famous Japanese artist who does the Berserk music.
Oh yeah,
that was kind of nice. We got a new track from him. Da, 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 da. That kind of got me hyped when he first wears it, the Berserk armor. I like that.
I remember the days when we were talking about like, wow, this is gonna look so cool when it's animated. And like now we come to the day, and I'm just like,
Can you imagine if you went back in time to our college selves and tell us Donald Trump's going to be president of the United States and Berserk anime is going to get animated, but it sucks.
And also, like, we're also gonna get 4 years of Naruto filler or something like that. How many years was it? 2? Or...
I don't know, maybe like 2 or 3. Oh man, that was a dark time.
So it's like we could go back in time to ourselves and like, just do something else while Naruto filler is gonna be on for 2 or 3 years. Just like,
don't even bother.
Just chill out, man.
Don't even wait. Don't even read the summaries. Don't even download them. Don't even watch it. It's a waste of space. Just fuck it. Well, I feel like there's someday someone's gonna make like the best abridged series ever out of the Naruto fillers.
Oh my god, yeah, but no, they should do like a Dragon Ball Super treatment with Naruto.
Well, not the Dragon Balls. You mean Dragon Ball Kai?
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think that'll happen with like a lot of like long-running shonen series that have a lot of fluff. That eventually they'll get like get it re-edited down to just the manga material and then re-release it. It's a great way to like, squeeze a few bucks out of a legacy series.
Yeah, and everything should just be animated like Death Note. I just want everything to be animated like Death Note. Why can't that just happen?
Well, it'd be interesting to see if Tetsuo Araki like got his hands on Berserk. What he'd be able to do with it. Although I feel like maybe his sensibility is like a little too juvenile for Berserk overall. I mean, he'd be great at like the super hype, slashing shit to bits moments, but there are also the quieter, introspective character moments, and I think those are not his strong suit.
Interesting.
Attack on Titan is, or even Death Note, is always best when the music's blaring, something really cool's happening, and it's happening in the coolest way possible.
I mean, I find it hard to fault Death Note for a lot of things. I mean, maybe later in the story, but like not the animation and the quality.
It was a great adaptation. But yeah, Death Note was a great adaptation. So I think that finishes my thoughts. Greg, anything you want to add?
That's pretty much it. This thing needs to get 2D animated somehow, some way. Someone do it.
2 more episodes, and we'll see what happens. With it. I'm really curious to see where they're going to end it, since they had the perfect ending point. But they somehow decided to go through half a volume of material and burn through all the Quilpolith stuff. So I don't know. We'll see where they go.
Yeah. Curious.
All right. Well, thank you for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Give me all that good stuff. I'd say go to Loot Crate or go to Crunchyroll, but I'm not good enough to get those shilling opportunities. Who knows? Maybe someday Greg will make a shirt.
Don't promote Loot Crate, Isaac. Whatever you do. That shit is just like such garbage. I don't care if I'm like the most famous person or like just on the brink of becoming famous. I'll never support that shit.
Someday we'll have to have you talk about Loot Crate and what you think about it. Because honestly, I thought you would love Loot Crate of all the people. Oh my god,
it's just like garbage you'll throw out in like a month. Everything that you ship
like
to you.
Going to a con and getting swag, all the swag you could ever want.
Yeah, swag that you particularly choose and want to bring in your house, but like not swag, not random like garbage shit that they'll like throw at you.
You never know. It might be something you want. It's got a theme.
Shut up. There's nothing I want.
Come on, give me the Loot Crate money. Let me shill. I want to be shilled so badly. So
never. I have standards.
Job.
Even when I'm like homeless and like on the street, I'll still have standards.
I may be eating off of discarded McDonald's French fries, but at least I don't shill for Loot Crate.
Exactly.
All right, that was a fun digression. See you in the next video.
See ya, guys.